Hey, what's up, everybody? So, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis officially launched today, and I wanted to do a little bit of a beginner's guide. So, just right off the bat, when you start up the game, you're going to get offered settings for graphics. So, some people are having problems with some devices. I personally suggest medium. The game still looks good and plays good on medium. If you want to try turning it up, you're welcome to do that. If you feel like you're having problems with the game crashing or running a little slow or making your phone too hot or your emulator crash, try medium and make sure the game has at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. So if your phone does not have 8 gigabytes of RAM and it's crashing a lot, that's probably why. But if you are able to play with the crashes, I would at least be grateful for that. And if you are on an emulator, make sure you're setting 8 gigabytes of RAM for the graphics. And let's just get into the actual game. So when you start off, you're going to get a tutorial. At a certain point, you are able to go into the menu. I think it's during the bombing mission of Midgar. Let me turn this down just slightly. In the bombing mission of Midgar, you're able to go into the menu and skip it. I highly suggest skipping that first mission and then go back into it. Because after you go back into it later, you're able to use 2x speed and auto battle, which makes it significantly better. But there are 300 blue crystals in there, which you can use for pulling. So you're definitely going to want to get them. All right. So now first thing, like I said, it's going to start you off with the tutorial. It's going to start you off with the story, basic. You're going to jump in there. The story's good for basically anybody. When you do these stages, the experience that you acquire in these stages is going to go to all of your unlocked characters. You can also make teams of 3. And teams of 1 for multi. Your teams of 3 are going to be used for story content or majority locking you into certain teams. You can forgo the team requirements and use whatever team you want, but it does limit some of the rewards, and you will have to go back later to clear them using the required team. So I highly suggest just using the required team from the start and just getting those rewards the first time. If you're unable to beat the stage, you can always level people in other ways and then go back and try them later. But your team of 3 is going to be used mostly in the enhancement quests here. And this guide is going to be pretty basic, by the way. As you can see, I didn't unlock all of the stuff yet. I wanted to make sure I'm not spoiling too much when I make this video. So you guys have the opportunity to explore a lot of the game's features for yourself. But I will try to get into as much as I can. Daily quests are obvious. You're going to want to unlock these as soon as possible and get them done. It's just bonus character shards for their... In this screen, you see the character button. You can raise their stats here in their stat stream. It's just like bonus to attack, magic, defense, stuff like that. It's in small amounts over time. It's a whole tree. You can add bonuses to your limit breaks and stuff like that. So that's one way to develop your team. As you can see, you'll unlock summons, which is similar over time. And summons actually work that when you equip the summon, it overtakes the character's limit break. So if you have a character that you don't really like their limit break, that is a prime target for someone that you will want to swap their limit break out for the summon instead. Enhancement, straightforward. You'll get materials to enhance your weapons, materia, and synthesize various materias. As the game life goes on, I'm sure there will be more information and guides to be made about exactly what materials to be using when you're making your materials and doing your synthesis. So just save. The best course of action as a beginner is to just save until you know what to do, especially with synthesis. As for leveling up your materials, that's not that big of a deal. you're going to be able to go into the shop, and there's going to be daily free packs in some of these shops to keep an eye out for them. But more importantly, there's the guild shop, which will sell you a bunch of items. And a lot of these items, as you unlock more of the content, it will be items to level up your materia, items to level up your weapons, and stuff like that. And you'll get a lot of gil through farming content. You'll see a bunch of cactars pop up, or if you're farming on autoplay and not really paying attention, you might not actually see the cactars, but they're there. You'll end up with a lot of gil, so you want to make sure to check out the shop and do that stuff often. Chocobo expeditions you unlock pretty early. Make sure you pop in here and start your expedition as often as you can. Come in here and claim your rewards. I think it stacks up to 6 in your one expedition. That's up to 6. And there are various different areas you can explore and unlock. And they have percentage rates for your clearance. Explore, see that mission popped up, explore 25% of this area. As you do that, there are missions you'll clear to unlock more crystals, to do pulls. There is an exchange shop in here where you can unlock what I assume are better tier chocobos. Again, this is kind of weird. They just have H, G, H+. It's not really clearly defined what benefits some of these chocobos have over others. But I think there will be more information about that later. And again, you can just save and just use the basic chocobos that cost nothing. And only run the one expedition instead of using your crystals. This is something I might consider unlocking later, but I think in the meantime, I'm just going to stick with one and save my gems for pulls, because at a certain point, I might not really care as much about expeditions, and having 2 will be redundant. So we're just going to let this kind of passively do its thing over time and check in whenever I can. And you should do the same. Claim our gems. So, an important thing to point out at the start here is the jump start missions. This will give you something to focus on, give you a lot of access to unlock materials to evolve your Buster Sword, get a free 5-star there, another free 5-star via a gacha ticket here. Looks like a bunch of co-op medals that you use to buy good materials to evolve your stuff. And I think a gacha tickets as well in those shops. So there's going to be a bunch of ways to unlock free gacha and a bunch of materials to jumpstart your weapons there. Your dailies and weeklies, this is standard gacha game, mobile game stuff. These are unlocked basically right from the start. These are different from your actual daily quests in the solo content. Wrong button. Yeah, this is different than that, but yeah, that's just more daily content you'll unlock. A lot of this stuff is solo. The solo stuff is like first clear, one and done. The enhancement quests, you can target farm specific things, but I highly suggest saving your stamina for multiplayer. Multiplayer is going to be infinitely more rewarding for more bang for your buck, because you're going to get more individual character EXP than any other piece of content. You're going to get more player XP, which will rank you up to give you more free stamina over time, which is also important for an obvious reason. So it gives you more character XP, it gives you more player XP, and it gives you a larger quantity of materials that you would be getting from, like, some of these things here. The weapons quests and whatnot. I'm going to try to show you the material that you're going to be target farming. I think it's a little bit of these and the next level. You know what? I'll just do this for the sake of the video. It is a little bit of a waste since I'm not using Cloud, but there are jumpstart missions for leveling this, so I might as well do it. Yeah, as you can see, as you get higher in the tiers, it's going to cost additional materials here. And the blue and the purple ones are the ones that get a little bit more rarer from farming in the enhancement stage, and you get a lot of them in multiplayer. So that's why you're going to want to farm multiplayer when you start pushing your weapons up to level 50 and beyond. So let me see if I've covered... I don't know if there's anything else to cover. Okay. Actually, here's an important thing to note. When you're building a party, you can hit the recommended party, which will take from all of your characters and take their highest thing. But that only works when the slots are empty. However, if the slots are already filled, say I want to change Tifa. So I'm going to go in here, go to characters. I will select the characters I want. Let's switch in Red 13. When I go back, now when I hit recommended party, it is not going to swap out Red 13 for the stronger character, but it will instead equip his best stuff. So that is a very, very important little trick to learn that'll help you change your parties a lot faster. So keep that in mind. Let's put that back. Who did I swap out? Was it Tifa? And again, you can just hit best equipment here. But that might not necessarily take from some of the background stuff because the sub-equipment that your character can use, they can equip up to... I'm not sure if it's 1, 2, or 3 sub-equipments. But they can be other characters' equipment. So I'm just going to hit recommended party just to make sure. And I got my best team ready to go. My favorite team and my best team. And it works the same for co-op. You can select the character you want and then just hit best equipment. The co-op, the co-op team is only one person. You're one player in that, so you don't have to worry about the whole team. So last but not least, the draws. Are you going to want to reroll? Are you going to want to focus farm on anything in particular? Yes, no, maybe. That's really up to you. I personally don't think rerolls are worth doing. But if you really want to reroll because you're interested in the stamp card and getting the outfit for the character, you can definitely re-roll to try to get a roll that gets you the outfit pretty early and cheap. Because when you do these, a multi-draw gives you anywhere from 1 to 12 stamps. Obviously, with 1 and 2 being the highest rate, it being extremely rare to do one pull and get the 12 stamp dream. So if you are a sick, demented person likes re-rolling, you can come in here and try to re-roll for this specific gear. I personally don't think it is worth it, but that is totally up to you. But you do want to come in here and set your wish list and try to focus on whatever characters you want to focus on. So as you can see in my wish list, I have set up a couple weapons here for my team that I want to use. An AoE wind magic weapon for Lucia. We have a physical non-elemental damage for Lucia that applies silence. I have an AoE cure for Aerith, as well as an AoE earth damage for Aerith. And then we have AoE lightning damage for Tifa. And you can go through all the characters. You can hold and see what their individual weapons do. And you can set your wish list based off of what you want, which is what I suggest you do it first. And then after you do some pulls, if you get some different stuff and you find, well, I want to boost this weapon instead of trying to farm that other thing that I wanted. Like, say I get, instead of this staff for Aerith, I end up with something like this, which is the AoE lightning damage for Aerith. Maybe I will swap this into my wish list instead of that AoE Earth, and then I will try to get a different, instead of the lightning weapon for Tifa, I will come in here and try to get something like, let me find a good example. Tifa is a weird example because a lot of her stuff is either physical, magic, non-elemental. Like, it's very strange. Okay, maybe something like this, in all honesty. Yeah, I like this. 300% magic damage with a magic defense decrease on the enemy. I think I like that. That's actually, you know what? Are my other two teammates... Wow, actually. Was that this one? Yeah, I think since my other two teammates are focusing magic damage, I want to use that on Tifa. So check your wish list. Make sure you're target farming the stuff that you want to evolve up faster, or the stuff you just want for whatever team you're looking to build at the time. But primarily, I think you can just save. Ultimately, I think it's important to just save as long as possible and consider your options before going balls deep and burning all of your resources. As you can see, I haven't done any pulls yet. I haven't done any draws. I'm actually saving those to probably do on stream. Maybe I will record a video and post a video of all of my draws as well, just so people can check them out. But yeah, I think that's the gist of it. If I think of any more tips or I left anything out, I will definitely come back and make more videos. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to check that out. But yeah, that's about it. So if you guys want to check out of here, that's fine. I'm gonna ramble a little bit more though while I claim some of these rewards. See if there's anything else that I really missed, but I don't think there is. No, looks like that's about it. All right, peace everyone. Enjoy the game. Have fun. Follow me on Twitch. Link on my YouTube page. Subscribe to my YouTube, obviously, since you're here. Would appreciate it. And yeah, I will post more condensed guides in the future for sure.